Okay, let us begin with our Dhamma talk. Pamadang anuyunjanti
Pramadam anuyuyanti
bala dummedhino jana
jana
apamadancha medhavi
apadancha deva medavi
dhanang settang varakkati.
dhanam setam vakati.
Okay, let us recite again word by word. That will be easier for you. Pamadang anuyunjanti
Yanti
bala
ba
dummedhino
dumedino
jana appamadancha
apadancha
medhavi
medavi
dhanang
dhanam
settang va rakkati. Okay. Okay. I read the whole line first and then repeat after me. Pamadang anuyunjanti
Adam anujuyanti
anuyunjanti bala dummedhino jana
edi odana
appamadancha medhavi
apada jamida
medhavi dhanang settang rakkati. Okay, the meaning is cultivate heedlessness, the foolish and stupid people, but sagacious one guards heedfulness just as the greatest wealth. Okay, pamadang is heedlessness. That means unmindfulness. Then anuyunjanti, cultivate. Bala, foolish, the foolish. Dummedhino, stupid. Dummedhino means those who don't have wisdom. Foolish. Jana, people. Appamadancha, heedfulness. Che means here, meaning also medhavi, wise one, sagacious one. Dhanang, wealth. Settang, greatest. Wealth were just as Rakkati, gods. So, the heedlessness means unmindfulness. Mindfulness, sometimes it is called sati. Unmindfulness is pamada. Asati, in other Pali word for this is asati, not sati, not mindful. Anuyunjanti, cultivate. Who cultivate heedlessness? Foolish people. Foolish people cultivate heedlessness. They cultivate unmindfulness because they are engaged in doing foolish things. Always mind is preoccupied with doing foolish things all the time. The foolish bala. You studied in Mangala Sutta. Buddha asked us not to associate with the foolish. Why? Because they cultivate heedlessness. They don't do anything to promote their peace and happiness in this life, nor do they do anything to have peaceful and happy life after death. And they cannot make the difference between good and bad. They just live without learning Dhamma. They are like animals. They just eat, drink, and make merry and sleep, but they are therefore not different from animals. Difference between human and animal makes through the Dhamma, through heedfulness. But those who are not heedful behave like animals. They cultivate heedlessness. They are foolish and stupid people. But on the other hand, wise ones guard heedfulness just like greatest wealth is guarded and protected. So, now, this is very important advice we have to remember. Once we are born as human being, we must make the best use of human life. If we don't make the best use of our human life, we would not be different from animals. So behind this, there is a story. It's called Simpleton's Holiday. Simpleton's Holiday. Once a year in Savatthi, they had a holiday festival for one whole week. This holiday festival is different from other holiday festivals in that all these foolish, stupid people get together and they go on using filthy words, coarse language, very unpleasant talks. No matter who is on the road, mother, father, brother, sister, sibling, they don't care. They don't care whether there are monks, nuns, laymen, children, they don't care. regardless of who is on the road, who they meet, they use this abusive, dirty, ugly, unpleasant word. It is so unpleasant that people may be thinking that they might stop this using dirty words. They would give them a penny, half a penny, 3/4 of a penny, 1 penny. Penny means not very much money, but just to get rid of them, they give this little money. And then they go away and go to the next house. They also give something and then go away. But whole week they were harassing people using these vulgar, coarse words. Then people there were 5 crores of holy persons, many thousands of monks, arahants, the Buddha, were in Savatthi at that time. But even if the Buddha came out of his monastery, they would use these vulgar, dirty words. And therefore those followers of the Buddha, very compassionate people, sent a message to the Buddha and said, please don't come out of your monastery. You stay in the monastery. We will prepare food, or we can make arrangement to prepare food in monasteries so that you can have your meals. But don't come out for meals, because those days monks take their alms bowl and went from house to house to collect their food. That's called going alms round. That's called pindapata in Pali, pindapata. Pinda means a handful of food. Pata means putting into the bowl. That's what they collect. They collect enough food and return to their monasteries or kutis. That's what they did those days. So these people send the message to Buddha and monks, please don't come out to collect your alms food. You stay in the monastery. We will arrange some people to come and prepare meals in the monastery. Or we prepare meals and bring to the monastery. Please don't come out. They themselves feel so embarrassed to hear these vulgar, dirty talks. So after 1 week, they stopped. On the 8th day, these people went to the monastery and said, Venerable Sir, we are very sorry we could not listen to Dhamma, we could not meet our Lord Buddha and meet these venerable monks and nuns because of these foolish people, stupid people. They did not know how these people said it was just like piercing our ears, like beating with big instruments to our ears. It was so unpleasant, ugly. So that is why we did not want you to come out, because we don't want you to, although you have attained full enlightenment, you may not feel bad, but we feel very uncomfortable. We feel embarrassed to see them using these vulgar words. And because these people don't know the danger. They don't know good and evil. The foolish people, there are ways of knowing foolish people. What are the ways? There are 3 ways. That is, they do foolish things, they speak foolish words, and they think foolishly. What are the foolish things they do? They do things to hurt themselves. They take drugs, they take their drinks, they eat wrong food, junk food, and so forth and so on. They hurt their life. They ruin their health, and they get sick very soon because they don't understand. And then they speak dirty words, and then they think in foolish way. That means they develop greed, they develop hatred, they develop delusion. So these are the signs of foolish. If they don't do this, we don't know the difference between the fools and the wise. Wise people don't do that. They do things to benefit themselves in this life. They say things to benefit themselves, like they speak kindly, with compassion, with understanding, with love, with respect. They speak, and they think kindly, compassionately. They practice metta, loving friendliness, and so forth. They do, because they are beneficial to themselves as well as to others. And that is why the Buddha said, don't associate with the foolish, because you will be dragged into their company, and they will make you also very unhappy, unpleasant person, create a lot of problems for yourself. And therefore, Buddha asked them to not to associate with them. So these people went and told the Buddha, this is the problem. And then Buddha uttered this stanza. The foolish people cultivate heedlessness. The foolish and stupid people cultivate heedlessness. But the sagacious ones, wise ones, heedfulness, God's heedfulness just as great as wealth. When you have inherited wealth or acquired wealth by righteous means, you protect it. You invest, you protect it for your own use, for the use of your family, and to share with your friends, relatives, and give donations, and so forth. For these things you protect your wealth and great wealth. You don't just waste it. Just like that, you protect your heedfulness. You know, heedfulness is the key to your peace and happiness. Mindfulness is the key to peace and happiness. And they protect it. How can they protect it? How they protect the peace and happiness? They keep practicing it. They don't forget. They don't forget to practice mindfulness. They keep renewing it. In order to protect mindfulness, you have to practice it again and again, day and night, whether you are sitting, standing, walking, lying down, whenever awake. You practice mindfulness. That is how you protect it, guard it, so that it will always be with you, ever ready to help you. When you are going to do something, before you do it, be mindful and see whether what you are going to do is full of greed, hatred, or delusion, or without greed, hatred, and delusion. While you are doing something, be mindful to understand what I am doing is full of greed, hatred, and delusion. And after doing it, you must ask yourself, what I have done or said, thought, was full of greed, hatred, and delusion. Before you do something, if you see that what you are going to do is going to have greed, immediately change it and stop it. Don't do it. Wait until greed fades away. And if it is going to have hatred, don't do it. Immediately stop it. For instance, if you are going to get angry, you see the danger of getting angry, and it hurts you, it hurts others, it has long lasting harmful effect on you as well as on others. You lose your job, you lose your friends, you lose your relationship and all this. You think, and don't get angry before you do certain things. Similarly, while you are doing certain things, if anger comes into you, then immediately stop it. Don't do it. Be mindful and divert talk to something else, and don't do it. That is how you have to use mindfulness. Even after doing something, you think, I have done such and such a thing that is harmful for me, for others, and both. Therefore, you must stop it right away. And in future, you decide never to use that kind of deed, never to that kind of do that kind of deed, never talk that kind of talk, and never think that kind of thinking, so that you remain mindful all the time. This always benefits you, make you peaceful and happy. And that is how we make the best use of our life. So we protect our mindfulness just like wise person guards and protect the greatest wealth. Friends, our greatest wealth is the mindfulness, and living mindfully is the greatest, wisest thing we have to do. Living with mindfulness is the best thing we can do to ourselves. If you are friendly with yourself, practice mindfulness. That is why the Buddha said, no mother, no father, no relatives can do so much good as your well-directed mind do. Similarly, no enemy, bitter enemy can do so much harm to you as your polluted mind does to you. When you are unmindful, you are not friendly with you. You are not friendly with you. When you are mindful, you are friendly with you. And therefore you always do something to make you peaceful and happy. And that is how we protect our wealth of heedfulness. So Buddha advised these people. Now Buddha said to them, friendly people, pious people, this is how foolish people behave, but you don't behave like that. So see the harm that they have caused during a whole week. The entire week they cause so much unpleasantness, so much pain in others. And therefore this is called Bala Nakhat. Bala Nakhat means foolish people's holiday. A foolish people holiday, or simpletons holiday. So we don't want to make simpletons holiday, we want to make wise people's holiday all the time. So let us go back to the stanza once again, and remember the story is very short, but the message is very deep. We must remember the message. It is not the story, but the message that matters to us. But when we listen to the story, you remember the message. Okay, with the story. And this stanza is, we have to, if you can memorize this stanza, that is very wonderful. Now let us try to read it again. This time again, I read only once, the whole stanza, and then I read line by line for you to repeat after me. This is how we read in Pali the whole stanza. Pamadang anuyunjanti Bala dummedhino jana appamadancha medhavi dhanang setang varakkati. Okay, you recite after me. Pamadang anuyunjanti.
Pamadam anuyunjati.
Yunjanti.
Yunjanti.
Bala dummedhino jana
Bala dummedino jana.
appamadancha medhavi
Appamadancha medavi.
dhanang setang varakkati.
Dhanam settam varakati.
Very good. Now I want you to recite it. Who begins? If nobody volunteers, I name them. Chandima.
Pamadam anuyunjati.
Yunjanti.
Anuyujjanti. Baladumhedino jana. Appamadancha medavi. Dhanam settam varakati.
Very good. Name it.
Pamadam anuyunjanti baladummedino jana appamedancha medavi dhanam saitam varakati.
Okay, remember Bala dummedhino jana. Okay.
Oh,
Next one is Maitri.
Pamadang anuyunjanti bala dummedino jana appamadancha medavi dhanang settam varakkati.
Ruanti. Ruanti.
Pamadam anuyunjanti. Baladumedino jana. Appamadancha medavi. Dhanam settam varakati.
Okay, Nipun.
Pamadam nuyuntanti bala dummedino jana appamadancha medavi dhanam settam varakati.
Okay, Anaya.
Pamadam anuyujjanti baladummenino jana appamadancha medavi dhanam settam varakati.
Very good. Tehesa.
Pamadam anuyunjanti baladumedino jana appamadancha medavi dhanam settam varakati.
Very good. Kim.
Pamadam anuyunjanti baladumedino jana appamadancha medavi dhanam settam varakati.
Very good. Tony. Balasurya.
Pamadang anuyunjanti baladumedino jana appamadancha devavi pammang sutam varakati.
And the lady next to you.
This is Ellie.
Ellie.
Pamadam anuyunjanti
Vayadume dino jana apatam da apatam ka medavi
Appamadan.
apamadan ka medhavi dhanam setam varakati.
Very good, very good. Maheli,
Hamadam anuyunjanti baladum dino jana apamadan cha medavi danam setam varakati.
very good. Ryan,
Pamadan anuyunjanti baladume dinho jana appamadan kamedavi dannam setam varakati.
very good, very good. Then, Adis, I think you all recited. Ryans, there are two, Ryans and Ryans. R-I-A-N-A, Raina or Rena. Can you recite?
Wait, did you say menu?
Did you recite?
No.
Okay, can you recite it?
Okay. Hamadam anuyunjanti baladumedinu ojan apamadan kamedavi danam setam varakati.
Very good. Kim Myo Tant. Are you there?
Yes.
Could
Yes,
you
Pamadam anuyunjanti baladumidino jana apamadam ja medavi dhanam setam varakati.
Very good. I think you all did very well today. Is there anybody who has not recited? What about this one? Uses 439C call. Okay. All right. Anyway, I'm happy that you all recited. I think when you keep repeating again and again, you will get used to Pali pronunciation, and also at the same time try to remember the meaning and the story behind that. So there are three things that you can learn. One is Pali, second is this meaning, third is the story behind it. And all these are very important factors that we have to learn for our own development. We are learning this not just to for the sake of learning, but to use them in our life. For instance, mindfulness we have to use, we must cultivate it. And unmindfulness we should not cultivate. We forget unmindfulness. We try to be mindful. Don't be unmindful. This is a very big subject these days. From the time of the Buddha, mindfulness has been very highly promoted because of the benefit. All our suffering can be overcome when we are mindful. When we practice mindfulness, we can overcome our all impurities in the mind, and we can overcome sorrow, lamentation, we can overcome pain and suffering, we can fall ourselves into the right track, right path and finally we can attain liberation, attain Nibbana. All these are possible only if we remain mindful. That is why Buddha said it is just like God's like the greatest wealth. Greatest wealth. So friends, this much we can do today, and now we will go to do little meditation. Okay? Let me see whether we can do some meditation. Okay. Okay, this is meditation practice, and okay, we recite this all together and then do some silent meditation. Before our meditation, this itself is a meditation. Meditation on loving kindness, discourse on loving kindness, loving friendliness, and we use it to practice meditation of friendliness. Okay, let me recite it for you, and you listen and practice. May all beings be happy and secure. May all beings have happy minds. Whatever living beings there may be, without exception, weak or strong, long, large, medium, short, subtle or gross, visible or invisible, living near or far, born or coming to birth, may all beings have happy minds. Let no one deceive another, nor despise anyone anywhere, neither from anger nor ill will should anyone wish harm to another. As a mother would risk her own life to protect her only child, even so towards all living beings one should cultivate a boundless heart. One should cultivate for all the world a heart of boundless loving friendliness, above, below and all around, unobstructed, without hatred or resentment. Whether standing, walking, sitting, lying down or whenever awake, one should develop this mindfulness. This is called divinely dwelling here. Not falling into erroneous views, but virtuous and endowed with vision, removing desire for sensual pleasures, one comes never again to birth in the womb. With this, let us do some meditation practice. Okay? Sit in a comfortable posture and focus your mind on your breathing, and breath becomes subtler and subtler and subtler. Then the body becomes calmer and calmer. Mind becomes more and more peaceful. We focus the mind on the peaceful breath. Breath is so clean and pure. No greed, hatred and delusion in the breath. Breath doesn't belong to one particular person. It is just external air. We breathe in and out to bring oxygen into our lungs and charge our blood cells, red blood cells, which are depleted of oxygen. Without oxygen, when we breathe in, we charge these red blood cells with oxygen, and then they go to heart. Heart pumps them, and then go oxygen throughout our body to keep all the cells alive. When the cells alive, we are alive, and this function is happening always, whether we are sitting, standing, walking, lying down, even when we are asleep, this happening all the time. And keeping this in mind, we breathe in and out very carefully, mindfully, deliberately paying attention to our breath. Okay, I ring the bell afterward. By means of these meritorious deeds, may I never join with the foolish. May I join always with the wise until the time I attain Bhavana. May the suffering be free from suffering. May the fear-struck be free from fear. May the grieving be free from grief. So too may all beings be. From the highest realm of existence to the lowest, may all beings ascend in these realms, with form and without form, with perception and without perception, be released from all suffering and attain to perfect peace. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Okay, we can end this session, and I'm glad that you came and participated in this, and I hope you continue your practice, and if you don't have any question now, we can end this session. Okay?
Peruan Saranai Bhante, wish you long life and good health.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bhante. Wish you a
Everyone
long
Saranai Bhante.
Everyone, Saranai, thank you.
Thank you, Bhante. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank
Okay, see you then next week. Huh?
you. Sadhu, sadhu, Bhante.
Sadhu, sadhu.